I would like to say there is something wrong with the threatening in the comments. Where are we going fast with comments that say no to what you see? And then I have another problem. I read comments on videos that come up on my YouTube channel feed, like when I open the YouTube page to use the internet to look something up or just look at what's on the opening page. What else? It gives a notification. Yeah. So there's a video notification by Emily Askin, and she might have comments that are positive, but it's not just her. There are others. Sometimes a lot of positive comments, and sometimes there's a comment that is positive, and then there are likes to the comment. That means it's not a like to the video, it's a like to the comment about the video. Yeah, sometimes that's a high number of likes. So I don't fully know its repercussions to myself, because I do know that my YouTube is many times been reinstated by God, the creator of YouTube, because I see that it changes something like, I did say this in a previous video I recorded. There's a little graphic of the world, and that has changed from that it looks like North America and South America, and that's changed into that it looks like the world deceased, which would be like it has a circle with an equator, and then it has lines like a basketball, but it's the world deceased. So that is on only one of the two YouTube channels access that I've been using. The other one looks like the world, but it's a rough sketch of world. So the YouTube dies from time to time, but I can still use it to post videos. Maybe that's just for myself. That's what I need it for, to decease myself. The comments, I just, if they're just threats, I'm finding that you are really very as fast on the threatening as I am at making the video. Like, such as if I made a video, within some hours I would get a comment, something to the effect of, "I'll have what you're having, give me your keys and get out." I can see that in the comments. And if you're really at the front door, I can't stop you, that's too late. And I think you just don't know that I am taking every word you say in the comments in the order, and that I'm going for the execution of myself, but I'm not supposed to see that myself, because God above is creating myself. He doesn't create me that I have to take care of it if his plans fall through the floor. You're not rising to the level of that God could make a plan for me. You blame me so much. You think that I am such a horrible person. You think that I am such a low life form that I should leave you and I should die out of God, and that you would not hear another word about it because it was never your problem that I was a low life form. Well, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm none higher than he deceased right here. I'm creating this Godhead, and it's the lowest life form I've ever seen in myself as God in this world or any of the creations of myself. I've never seen it so low. And that means that you are holding yourself and alive in your genitals and holding yourself up above the threatening that it is for you to decease yourself in your prejudice, which is not really related to that you might be offending someone who's not yourself. They didn't form your genitals. You can't offend somebody who didn't form your genitals and say that you're never going to pay for it. That's you needing to have a stop on your prejudice with yourself, that you make effort and that you see things. Maybe some people might say common sense. You have to do some things that are common sense, but it's really pointed at that you have to freeze the money in the banking. You can't have common sense and say the words I, we, you, us. You don't have common sense with I, you, we, us. You have common sense if you go into jail, prison, if you go into a mass grave. That's common sense. You go into a mass grave because you don't arrive alone. You have an enormous population of strangers in the public, and you don't die alone. You can't say that you're holding a set of keys or even a set of car keys and that you're going to die alone. If you see a lot of things go wrong in the public, you cannot go with all of the wrong. You have to leave it because God is going to decease the public. Each individual one of you is responsible for your own self and genitals, and you can't just be in the public and you don't have direction into jails and prisons. How can you be in the public and you don't know how to be in prison? Public starts with P, prison starts with P. This you need to be in prison because the public, you don't die in the public because it's public. That's how I got in the public, because you don't die in the public. I'm not going to die of public. I'm going to die none higher than me, deceased right here. So you don't have much time because maybe it's too late to get to a prison from here, but that's my order, is to disclose my leverage here because I'm not here to coach you. So it's for your genitals that I never did coach you on how to die in a prison. It's not a cult. I'm not a cult leader. I'm here to tell you that it's too late. So that's how you know I'm not a cult leader. Mitch sent me some Reese's Puffs cereal, and his advice to me elsewhere is for other cereal, which would have been Cinnamon Toast Crunch, was to pour the regular plain milk, or he sent me vanilla milk over cereal. But I have Reese's Puffs here, and I have chocolate milk, and there are chocolate puffs in this cereal. Right there and there and there. So I want to use the chocolate milk, but I didn't get the blessing of Mitch to put the chocolate milk over the Reese's Puffs cereal. So I am making the blessing myself right now. Mitch, if you can see this, I know you're not watching the videos, but he used to send me messages that he's not watching the videos, and I don't get those messages now, and I don't have some of the things I need elsewhere is right here. That means he wasn't watching the videos, and there's a reason he's not watching that's now in view of himself, and it's not true that I know you. It's true I'm going to need more food if I'm still alive. So I have to figure out how to... what I need is to send another shopping list to Mitch in about 3 days, maybe. I could go to the freezer and look at how many pizzas are left, but I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm going to need the money because I'm here, but I say a lot of things about prison. You don't have time to go to prison anymore. You have time to just pretty much... You have to freeze your banking because you're not allowed to spend money, because you can't spend money. If you make money, you can't spend it. If you made money, it's not really yours. If you spend it, you cashed out the money, and it wasn't the one who owned the money that cashed out the money. So that would be like if you had a credit card with your last name, the first name could write a signature for the credit card with the last name, but the last name didn't write all the signatures on your first name, last name signature. That means if you have like a mom, a dad, a brother, a sister, a dog. Do you have a dog? If you have a dog and you sign on your credit card you're really not getting the point that you have an animal dog that cannot sign for your name anymore. That means if you have a dog, you can't sign your name. Yeah, I have a dog, but it's not my dog. And my dog didn't take care of that. It was a dog. I'm just saying that I have to include myself here. My dog's name is Rocky, and there were a couple of dogs before Rocky. There was Princess, and before Princess there was Misty. And I don't afford the animals in the house. I can't get them out because I didn't bring them into the house. So should we just thank God that it wasn't like nature in the house? It was a pet. Yeah, but not a pet bird like a crow, and not a pet mouse, and not a pet rabbit. So your signatures on the credit card, they're not very honest. They've been asked for, which means they're not honest, that you made threats. You're due in prison on the point of ever making a payment to somebody who's making a charge. You are not friends. I'm deceased in my leverage now. I'm not making payments now or ever again. And I am not a hypocrite that way. You can't just call me you and stop and talk to something that's elsewhere's and tell me that I don't speak for myself and I don't know how to talk to someone like yourself who is much more knowledgeable about how to tell somebody to be quiet because I'm not yourself. Well, you have to talk about the past, bring up the past, recall, total recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I haven't really seen that movie, but it's total recall, remembering absolutely everything. And when do you remember it? This sounds really like he's a huge muscular person he's shocked up. Okay, shocked up. And the total recall, he clearly doesn't afford it without fighting. He's a physical fighter. Or should we say Mr. Universe? Was that always true? Arnold Schwarzenegger is Mr. Universe. All right. Well, I'm on the take here. I did take the chocolate milk and I'm ready to eat. Maybe later. Well, I have the chocolate milk out now for the video. I could eat it later. I could, but it's homeless. Not going to make another video later.